The legend of Charlie No Face has terrified locals in Pennsylvania for many decades. The story went that if you drove along Route 351 at night, you would encounter an old man with a disfigured face. His skin would be glowing green, and if he saw you, he would start chasing you. There was even a ritual to summon the Green Man. Participants had to drive the car to the tunnel, turn off the headlights, and call out to the Green Man. Electrically charged by his accident, if the Green Man made contact with your car, your engine would stall or refuse to start. It is said that the Green Man's face looked like melted candle wax. Some even say that he is a specter doomed to stalk desolate western Pennsylvania highways for all eternity. The strangest thing of all about this urban legend is that it actually turned out to be true. The real man behind the urban legend was the late Raymond Robinson, who was tragically disfigured in his youth. When he was just 8 years old, Robinson was violently electrocuted by an overhead electrical line while trying to view a bird's nest, which nearly ended his life. Though Robinson survived the accident, the strong electrical bolt took away his nose, eyes, one ear, and even an arm. The name Green Man came not from the rumors about him getting radiation poisoning due to an accident at the supposed power plant where he worked, but from something a little more gruesome. His nose was basically an open wound his entire life. It would get infected quite often, and that would make it turn green, hence the name Green Man. From that day in 1918 up until his death in 1985, Robinson mostly hid away from society for fear of scaring those he came in contact with. Ray wasn't exactly mistreated, but he did get isolated and ostracized even by his own family, who would eat separately from him. But he still tried to make the best of it. An avid baseball fan, he listened to every game he could pick up on his radio. He learned to read Braille and how to make wallets and doormats out of old tires, and generated a small income for himself. To break from this solitude, Robinson began walking along Route 351, going at night to avoid the stares of passerby, guided by a walking stick, which were the only times he ever really left the house. Ray developed a reputation for walking around Route 351 at night. The way he looked garnered attention, and rumors started to spread. People started to actually seek him out, and Ray embraced that. Usually people he would encounter would offer him cigarettes or beers, and they would give him company. He would even take pictures with people he liked. These late night encounters became one of his main connections to the outside world. Though some people were frightful or cruel to him, others befriended Ray and would bring him beers and cigarettes for his night walks, and that's how the legend was formed. These nightly walks were, of course, where the urban legend of Charlie No Face began, with many purposely driving along the stretch of road to get a glimpse of the tragic figure, many believing him to be a ghost of some sort. Ray died in 1985 in a nursing home in Beaver County. He was a gleaming example of someone being given the worst and making the best of it. As the years went on and one generation turned into another, Ray and the urban legend of Charlie No Face became part of the culture. Parents would tell their children stories about him, and then when those children became teenagers, they would seek him out. What people need to understand is that this was a human being, a real person, and someone who endured one of the most tragic lives ever known. Underneath it all, Ray Robinson was a kind-hearted gentleman. To this day, nearly 30 years after his death, the tales of Charlie No Face are still passed down in Pennsylvania from generation to generation, with his status as a campfire character long outliving his actual life. The story has been changed over the years, and some claim that they still see the faceless man walking down his favorite road at night. But as always, my dear viewers, what do you believe? Do you think that Route 351 is still haunted by Ray Robinson's spirit? Let me know in the comment section down below.